Are you ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon. What's happening? Simon and Simon, Frank's Place, Snoop's Eve. If you want to see the list of shows that these two actresses have been on, you would literally need hundreds of television shows that we've all grown up and watched. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Roundtable. I'm Robert Bannon. It's another Thursday, which means you're here with me. I'm so excited to see two amazing actresses that I've literally grown up with. We've all grown up with, and they're here, and we're going to talk about all sorts of stuff. So I'm super excited about it. So I'm going to get right into it. Thank you, everyone who was here last week. We had Chaz Palminteri here, and the weather was bad, and we lost internet, and we made it work, but I was sweating. So thank you all for hanging in with me last week, and joining us last week. It was a great show. Hi, Abby. Thank you. So have a great trip. She's coming from the UK, and she watches every single week, and she's on her way to America, and she stays up late to watch us. So thanks for being here with us. I want to get right into things because we have a lot to talk about today. So let's get started with my week in review. So this week, I went and saw my friend Robbie Rozelle. Robbie Rozelle played at Birdland this week, and it was a really great show. If you can ever check out Robbie Rozelle, make sure you check him out. Here he is performing with Jonathan Hoover, who does a Patti LuPone impersonation. And take a peek at this. His Patti LuPone impersonation was so funny. He was at Birdland. It's called Inappropriate Patti. So follow Robbie Rozelle, Inappropriate Patti. It's a trip. It really is a really, really good time. I had a great time with them. They're a lot of fun. I have so much material. I can't scroll through the computer fast enough because we have so many assets for our guests today because there's so much work that they've done. I also wanted to say that when I was watching the Grammys, I saw this tribute to my good friend, Sarah Dash. The ladies of LaBelle are a part of my heart. Sarah from Philly was always so kind and sweet to me through all the years. So it was so nice for them to honor her. Her legacy will live forever. So a big kudos to her. Now it's time for the part where I shamelessly talk about, well, me. Here's my shameless plug. 'Cause I'm shameless. Yeah, so I have a show. Coming up next week. Next week, I have two concerts. If you're in Green Room 42 in New York City, or if you're in Jersey, I'll be at Villagers Theater. Make sure you stop by there. It's called Rewind. I'm going back in time, and I'm telling my entire story as a child of the 80s, growing up, and with music that you have known and heard, and the story and tale of this Italian-Irish Catholic boy from New Jersey. So hear about what it's like when a Greg Bannon meets a Rose DiMeglio, and then out comes me. Come join me. You can get tickets virtually or in person at robertbannon.com. And I'd love to see you there. So come on down. It'll be a lot of fun for sure. And I'll tell you all about it. I also have done, this in this business. We've just been press my face. If you follow me on social media, you're stuck with me. You have to look just me. And yes, people love The Teacher by Day. I teach 5th grade in North Bergen, New Jersey. And then, because someone has to pay my bills. And God knows it's not the cabaret show in New York next week. So if you would love to read more about me, you could go to nj.com. Finally, I don't normally do this segment. We did it last week. We're doing it again this week. Here's the Jersey tea about the Housewives of New Jersey. So, we did this last week because I filmed for the Housewives of New Jersey in August, and it aired on Tuesday. So it was a birthday party. They hired me to sing. It was on Bravo. We made the cut. I went to Juilliard Prep. I went to an acting conservatory. I have 2 master's degrees in English, and I'm on the Housewives of New Jersey. I'm sure my parents are just so proud of all the money they paid for my schooling. Take a peek at me from Tuesday night. Everyone join in with me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mark Sr. Happy birthday to you.
This has been the best night of my life.
It was actually really sweet. So shout out to Marge Sr. and Margaret Josephs. They'll be on in the future weeks. They're very kind and sweet. They come to see me sing, and they gave me the opportunity to do that. What I would say about it that I really find rare in this business is that they asked me to sing at a Pride event, and that show did not make it to production. That event got cut. So they asked me back because they felt so strongly about giving me the chance to be on the show. So thank you to them. That's a rare, very generous thing to do. So I'm really grateful for that. All right. I don't even know where to begin with our guests tonight. You've grown up, we've all watched her, and she's somebody who has been on your television screens for many years. And done everything, literally. She's a woman who can do it all. And I went digging through the internet. I told her before, I went digging through YouTube in the rabbit hole all week to find some clips. And I have some. So take a peek at this.
He's going after Daphne Maxwell Reid from Frank's Place. You know, those were her shoes that Greg Evigan borrowed in the last go-round.
In his case.
Oh, wow. He's missed the third one, too.
But as the dream home slowly took shape, Daphne stopped thinking bricks and mortar and finally got to design clothing in her new studio.
I've been sewing since I was 9 years old. I've finally gotten brave enough to take a pair of scissors and cut a piece of fabric without regard as to what it will look like. It's been very exciting. For Simon & Simon last year, I made most of the things that I wore on the show. Now I'm going to start making more men's clothes and hopefully get a men's line out.
And she can make things out of stuff. You know, I'll go, "You gonna wear that?" And she says, "Sure, you just do this."
Well, obviously, you've been a slouch, just lazy, no work.
Such a life, just boring as heck. What? It was great hearing about your stuff, though. A singer, you go, boy.
Thank you. I'm just one of those people that's gonna just throw everything at the wall until something.
Do it. I've been doing it my whole life. Just keep throwing stuff there.
Well, thank you. Firstly, thank you so much, Mr. Reid, for being here because it's an honor. You, speaking of Renaissance woman, I mean, you're somebody who you do a little bit of everything as well. And that is what's been so fascinating reading more about you than just the television is your life and the work you've done. Acting just touches the surface. There's so much more.
Oh, I've had several journeys through this life, and I have been so blessed and been able to take take advantage of a lot of great opportunities and grow in lots of different directions. I have nothing to regret in my entire life. And I'm just anxious to continue going along these roads and seeing what else I can do, what I can learn, who I can meet, and who I can share ideas with.
That is so beautiful. That's like the artist spirit, but the humanity spirit, which, the art is a reflection of humanity. And that is what you just shared with us right there. Truly. You are
gave me a lot of gifts, and it behooves me to honor those gifts by seeing how rich I can make someone else's life with the gifts that I have. And that's what I've been trying to focus on, making sure I have a purpose for every time I decide to explore one of my gifts. And I have had the best rides, I tell you. It's been great.
Well, going back, you're from New York, right?
Yes. Manhattan, as they say.
Manhattan. And you did not go to school originally for acting. You didn't go to college for acting.
No. It back in the 60s when I went to college, that long ago, that I didn't see a lot of examples of a Black woman making a living doing this. So it wasn't on my radar. We went to school to be teachers and doctors and lawyers, but I didn't go into the entertainment field. It seemed kind of iffy, and especially for a Black woman. So no, I did it as a hobby. I enjoyed doing it in high school. I was with the group theater workshop that now is the Negro Ensemble Company. And I just thought it was a lark. And since my mother said I'd been performing since I was 3 years old, I thought I'd have a little more fun as I grew up. And I just got opportunity after opportunity to explore it. And then I started paying attention and learning what was going on behind the camera as well as in front of the camera, how to make sure that I was in the light, and being able to get comfortable in expressing a character out of my body, somebody else other than me.
Yes.
And I've had a great, great ride.
Well, I want to know, as you kind of just explained, you you went to school for interior design and architecture.
Yes, that's what I got my degree in college, because I went to be a teacher. And after one semester of the School of Education, I said, I'm sorry, Robert Bannon, I cannot be a teacher.
I don't blame you. No offense to my students.
I applaud you. I applaud all teachers. It ain't me.
Well, listen, 106 fifth graders a day by spring break is at 3:00 tomorrow. So I understand how you feel. Do you know, before, not to jump ahead in your story, I've been lucky enough to interview many talented people of all walks of life. The students all look for me on social media. They get a kick out of the show. A lot of them are watching because they watch you. So when I say this person's on Broadway, or if I talk about the television shows that you've been on, in particular, the ones that I grew up watching, they're running right now 24/7. So when you say Aunt Viv is coming on, they're like, I have to watch. They were all very excited about you being here. So fifth grade, do your homework, and then
teach you anything. I'm gonna share with you, but I'm not teaching. So I loved drafting in high school. I went to the Bronx High School of Science, and I loved the drafting class. I said, well, let me see what this is going on at this college. And I went into the class and fell in love with architecture. And so that's what I got my degree in. Well,
and somewhere along the line, Elaine Ford, who's a legendary modeling agency, found you. How did you go into modeling while studying to be an architect?
Speaking of teachers, it was my 7th grade teacher who, I guess, submitted me for 17 Magazine's Real Girl issue in January of '67. Because I had gotten a National Merit Scholarship, and he was just following me and lauding me, and And he knew somebody at 17, so he submitted me, and they did a story on about 8 of us who were the real girls of 1967, and brought me back to New York to stay at the Waldorf Astoria with the Betty Crocker Bake Off winner, the baton twirling champion of Iowa, and it was a lovely occasion. But I got a full page in the large format 17 magazine, and that's where Eileen Ford saw my picture and asked me to come and register with her. And I was in school in Chicago. I was at Northwestern, and I would fly back and forth. You want me? I'm going to make you real sad right now. Everybody, I'm going to make you real sad. I used to fly back and forth between New York and Chicago for $25 round trip on a student fare.
Student fare?
$5.
Where did that? I can't even get a half a tank of gas for $25.
Those were the days, my friend. And
Well,
they ended.
and that's how this is like a story out of a book. It's like its own Hollywood movie to do that. And then you make history as the first African-American woman on Glamour magazine.
Yeah. And that was a surprise to me too. I didn't know it until I saw it on the newsstand. So it was
How was the transition from you're a college student studying architecture and interior design? You go into modeling, you're signed to one of the most legendary modeling agencies of all time. And then you transition into television.
Well, see, I got married in college. And I remember Eileen Ford calling me and saying, okay, I want you to go to Paris for the shows. And I said, I'm sorry, I just got married. I'm not going to Paris. Thank you very much. Sticks in my mind some way. So I got married. I had a son right after I graduated. So I was modeling again in Chicago and started doing commercials. And I said, they pay you to this much money to work one day? I think I like this business a little better now. And then this guy came to town who was going to do a television series there. His name was Robert Conrad, if you're old enough to know who that is. And he hired me to be a regular on the series, The Duke. And that was my first shot at acting on a television show. And the rest is history.
Well, here we have our friend here is she's in Maryland. She says you should still be modeling. You're gorgeous.
Oh,
and,
thank
that is the truth. You well, from that show, I mean, there's a lot of television shows, episodic 1 to arcs to guest stars to series regulars, and how
I have been blessed. I have been totally blessed. For somebody whose heart did not scream to be an actress, I have to. What am I going to do?
Right.
Ain't me. I said, oh, another job. Oh, this should be fun. I spent my whole career going, oh, this should be fun.
And I'm sure it has been. I know there's peaks and valleys to an artist's life. There's busy years, and you know, but when you look back at the chronological order of all of the shows, it's been one heck of a ride, I'm sure.
But I know that the business is a roller coaster. So what one as an actor who waits to be chosen needs to do is find something to deal with in the valleys. So that's why I was doing my sewing and doing my photography and raising a family and traveling the world, which I really loved.
Me too. I get that. No $25 airfare anymore, though. Well, you end up doing a bunch of television shows. You meet your husband, who's a TV icon. I mean, he's a legend. And then you have your family. And we showed that clip of Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, which is not a great. It wasn't a great clip. It looks like a VHS and it's got all the fuzz. But what I wanted to show it in particular was, if you watch the whole clip on YouTube, it's fascinating about the doors in your house, and they had long mirrors and you had to get new doors. I watched the whole thing. I tried to I tried to do my research, but it shows you then even working on the sewing, the creating, the photography. That's always been something that you've worked
Oh,
on through the years.
yes. My father was an amateur photographer, and he took pictures of us since I was born. I have so many slides and black and white pictures of me in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s that my father took. So when we were growing up, we always had a camera. I was given a camera when I was probably 9 years old. And my life, through all of these years, there is not one year that I did not have both a camera and a sewing machine in my possession. I always have them. And those are the tools that keep me sane.
Sure, I believe. Well, can we take a peek at some of your work that I found? Well, some of it, firstly, is behind you. I have this picture, but this
Oh,
is the
yes.
this is the tote up close.
Now, those are the doors that I have taken pictures of for the past 10 years. These are the doors, international doors, that represent opportunity and adventure and curiosity. It's a metaphor for life, and I just only take pictures of doors and, well, flowers too, but doors. And I needed, through this COVID nonsense, I had to do something, and I couldn't travel and take more pictures. So I had to find a way to repurpose my doors, and I designed this tote bag, and I love them. They got a
They-
little lining in them like Louis Vuitton. I got my name on the inside on the fabric. I learned how to design fabric. I learned how to get it printed, I learned so much on each of these journeys that I take, that's the joy for me, is the travel the journey to see how far it can go.
Well, all the products we're talking about are available for purchase on your website. So if you go to daphnemaxwellreid.com,
Please.
you can buy them all, and they'll send them right to your door. Speaking of photography, while we're still talking about it and pictures, you have a note card line as well. So you can get flowers.
Yes. This is a collaboration I did with a young woman in Richmond who is a writer. And she always wrote these wonderful little inspirational statements. And we had lunch one day, and I said, why don't we collaborate and do a line of cards with your statements, and I'll do the photographs, and I'll design the cards, and I'll get them printed, and then we'll both sell them. So I took photographs, and I designed a card that opens up so that it is the entire picture on the front and the back of the card. So once you read the card, you can open it up and frame the picture. So I designed something new for me, and it came out to be this card collection, which I think is just gorgeous and wonderful little thoughts to share with people.
They're beautiful, and the close-up and the quality of the picture and how beautiful the outline, like the colors literally jump off. So they're well.
And I did this all on my computer. I did all of my books on my computer, and I just send the printer a file, publish my own books. I've done 5 of them, and I tell you, these journeys have been very, very fulfilling for me.
Well, speaking of books, I have a question about your books.
Yes, dear.
What should I cook out of this book?
Start with Rosalie's waffles. That is the all-time favorite of so many people. And it seems like a big deal because you separate the eggs and you beat the egg whites separately it is so good.
No, you don't understand.
It's in honor of my mother that I make that one of the most profound recipes that I have in the book.
Well, have you always cooked? Has that always been a passion?
Well, yeah. I mean, I grew up with Julia Childs and all the rest of that when I was early married, and I tried everything in her cookbook. I made what is it? What is the crusted beef with the
like a Wellington?
Beef Wellington. Oh,
yes.
I made one from scratch once, and I said, "Oh, I have arrived."
That's not easy.
I always loved cookbooks and loved cooking and experimenting. And I don't do much now because it's just the 2 of us. But I used to cook for the kids and stuff, we have a real funny story about chicken liver pate. If you ever told a child that they were going to have chicken livers, they'd say, So I made some one day and I had toast for it and I'm spreading it on the toast and they tasted it and they said, "What is this?" I said, "It's elephant butter." They loved it. They bought it too.
The second you would have said liver pate, it would have been a flop.
Yeah.
Now listen, if when I go to California and I go to Roscoe's and get waffles, okay, and chicken, the chicken is great, but that waffle is one bite. It's just gone.
Oh, you got to taste Rosalie's waffles.
If I start making Rosalie's waffles here, I'm going to be living in the 24-hour fitness in Fort Lee, New Jersey.
It's a lifestyle for you.
So everyone, if you buy a book at DaphneMaxwellReid.com, she'll personalize it and sign it for you. You get a book, get it shipped, and probably makes a great gift, an Easter gift, Mother's Day gift.
Coming up.
A Mother's Day gift. Go to the website. And speaking of Mother's Day gifts, if you would like to be a fashionable mother or give some fashion, look at this. Look at what you do. When do you have time to do this? Look at these.
Those were my swing coats. Swing coats have been around since the 20s and they never go out of style and one size fits most people. And I put real catchy linings in each one of them. And this was a line that I did for a fashion show and it was all in linen, in bright rainbow colored linens. It was great.
They're gorgeous. They're gone. No, and they're in limited runs because you make them. And I saw the website, like there's a certain coat, there's only a couple left. Like if you're interested in these, they're really couture made pieces.
Well, they're all custom made now. So at this point, I only do custom work.
So go to the website, read all about it, because
order a coat.
Order a coat, get the cookbook, get the tote. You'll be fully. I feel, Miss Reid, I feel like me and you, we're a QVC show waiting to happen.
There we go. Oh, yes. Now, I was on QVC once. I did a line of patterns for the McCall Pattern Company, a signature line. And then I developed a how to sew box set of 4 videos and 4 patterns. And I teach you how to sew. And we sold them on QVC. And it went like that.
Of course.
It was great.
That's fun. That's a lot of fun. Well, it's not only big items and books and things. We have some. Look how resourceful during the pandemic you made masks. I know it covers half our faces, but
yes, but that's the fabric that I designed that says vaccinated, and it's got little COVIDs all over it.
I think it's brilliant. They're still available, and trust me, we should still be safe, especially if things get.
I wear mine every day.
Mm-hmm. Same. I understand. It's better safe than sorry. And not even for me to be sick. I just don't want to get anyone sick and take care of each other.
The fact that I don't know your position on it, so I'll just keep my position.
Right. And I love that it says it in a respectful, nice way. Like, listen, I'm vaccinated and I'm taking care of myself here as well. So all of these items and more are at DaphneMaxwellReid.com. And while we were talking before, and we're gonna have Miss Watson come join us and say hello as well, because she's here, and I know you guys have a history together on a couple of projects and things as well. We were talking about I was going through the archives and look at these. Talk about covers. Look at these covers I found. Look at this TV guide and this Jet magazine.
Yeah.
What like we said, what a ride for sure. And there's more work. You were just in Harriet. You showed the end. And I remember seeing you in it. What a brilliant film.
I love that movie. I was so honored to have a part in that movie. They said, "You only have one line." I said, "I don't care. I want to be there."
I get it.
It was just a wonderful experience.
Well, we're going to talk for a moment about a show that you may have done with Vernee. and Miss Watson. Miss Watson is here, and we're going to bring you all on, and then we'll talk to Miss Watson about her organization. Speaking of artists, she runs an organization teaching children. So you guys, I want to see your planner, because it must be top to bottom. You better write it in pencil. Here is Miss Watson, another icon, television icon. Hello, Miss Watson.
Hey,
how are you?
I'm fine.
Welcome. I know.
Where am I? Oh, there I go.
There you are.
Like one eye.
You worked today, so thank you for making time to be with us. We so appreciate it.
You're welcome, Daphne.
Good to see you again.
You too, darling.
Just fine.
Good.
Well, if you're looking to stream something and you have Peacock, you can see these two amazing ladies on the Bel Air reboot. They're on, I think, the 8th or 9th episode. So if you want to see a new take on it, make sure you check out Peacock app and you can see them reunited. You guys, I literally said before, Miss Watson, when we started, I rolled a piece of paper and said we would need a paper this long to see the amount of credits that these two actresses have done. You'd be here till Christmas if we started reading every single television show that you guys have been on.
I think together we got about 80 years of experience. That's
what happens in 80 years.
Well, it's an honor. Everybody, Miss Reid, if you go to www.DaphneMaxwellReid.com, make sure you can get her cookbook. You can buy her photography work, and you are always welcome to be here. Send love to your family, your children, your husband. It's been an honor. When I tell my kids I'm going to go in tomorrow, the fact that you both are here, my 5th grade students they've talked about that you guys are here today. So
right.
Making me look like teacher of the year for sure.
Have a great weekend of performances this weekend, Robert.
Thank you so much. So much
again, sis.
You too, darling.
Thank you. Mwah. Thank you for being here. Sure. Thank you. Oh, hello.
Hi.
Well, I have some clips of some of your amazing work, if you don't mind us showing, and then we're going to chat with you about all that's been going on. So thank you so much for being here.
You're
and
welcome.
to everybody, take a peek at this.
Yeah, I don't want to play anymore.
Hey, Freddie. Man, I promised to be true to you. Don't you trust me?
No one can stop me.
Yes, again, Mr. Beamer, the Teen Angel. And Captain Caveman will stop you. Come on, Richard. That's dumb. Nobody's going for that. Hey, I know what we could do. We can hold a boycott, and we can pick it outside until we get some results, right?
Yeah, and I'll paint the sign.
A little break to be on your way again. You were never there in the first place. How can you be on your way again?
Okay, so I didn't write him about the cheap touring carnivals. Instead, I wrote him about vacationing in the Bahamas.
That was a joke.
Well, I'm not a boarder. I'm your wife, and this is my home. And it ain't right you call me a boarder.
I was just teasing.
You're not by any chance worried about your looks, are you?
What makes you say that?
Look, I understand. You're a little worried about getting older. You put on a few pounds and hair is thinning a little bit.
Oh, come on, Carl. You so far off, baby. You really notice the thinning?
What's for breakfast?
It's either a donut or nothing, honey.
I want nothing, honey.
No, you should at least have a donut. I'll have nothing, honey.
What about me?
Okay, you two split the donut.
We'd rather split nothing, honey.
But half of nothing is still nothing, dear.
Nothing, honey. What? Right.
Mom, I don't want to move back home.
How can you say that? Baby, when I sent you out here, it was only on a temporary basis. I always expected you to come back home.
He was my father.
Wait. Who is this calling me up out of nowhere? How'd you get this number?
With the help of God, my community, and the force of my will, I gave them everything I had. And the fallout of your actions already took Thomas from this earth. And you just want me to applaud while you marry Curtis? I was supposed to trust that you ain't gonna hurt the last family I got left in this world. I gave up the man I was supposed to marry, the life I was supposed to live to save this family. Girl, and I'm not about to stop fighting for it now.
Okay.
Is this the high IQ sperm bank?
If you have to ask, maybe you shouldn't be here.
Excuse me, could you help us out?
My, what do we have here?
I slipped and fell.
Yeah, we get that a lot. What is this?
It's a robot arm.
Where's the rest of the robot?
I only built the arm.
Because that's all you needed, right?
that's all you needed. Miss Watson, you can deliver a line. It's a good line.
That is so crazy. Wow.
What's funny is when I saw those clips of like 2.5 Men and all of these Big Bang Theory and all these shows that you've been on, they're the shows that I watch when I'm on an airplane because they like make the time pass and they make me laugh.
Yeah.
The straight, like the line, you being the straight man, quote unquote, to the antics, you just deliver it like.
Thank you. I my brother has that wry sense of humor, and he's very close to me in age and stuff. And I told him I'm always acting like him because he can deliver a line, boy. No expression, just hit it, you know.
Well, when we had you, Daphne was on before, and we spoke before we got into her career. We talked about her growing up. You are also from New York.
Yes.
And
Harlem. Born in Harlem Hospital.
And you have a bunch of siblings.
Yeah,
none of them are actors.
Three of us. I mean, 4 of us all together, but yeah.
None are actors. They're all you're the
all in medicine.
Yep.
Is that crazy?
It's crazy.
I don't even like to get my blood taken, so I did not. I couldn't do the hospital thing at all. And I tried to be a dancer because I love to dance. My son actually and my daughter went into dancing, yes. But my knees couldn't take it, and you know, they said dancers' lives aren't very long, you know. So I decided to go into acting. I was hanging out one night and my girlfriend said, "Come on, let's go." She said, "No, I'm going to acting class." I was like, "What?" This is in Harlem. And we were downstairs in the basement of St. Philip's in acting class when Martin Luther King was shot, all this stuff. I mean, we didn't know what was going on. We were in our own little hub for years.
Well, you end up going to school, college. You went to NYU for drama. And then you were in
Olympia Dukakis was one of my teachers.
I saw that. And I mean, you talk about a comedic actress, Moonstruck, and Olympia Dukakis is And then you end up joining the Al Fan Ensemble and tour and start to work. When I watched your documentary, and I literally emailed you like 4 times about it because it really stuck with me. It really stuck with me because you're very honest. You tell the truth about your experience. What I loved so much as an acting student, I was talking to Miss Reid about this earlier, is that you are an actress. Like the craft, the lines, the work, the backstory. You're not just showing up on a comedic set and just giving a line. You
gotta do the work. You know, and people out here don't get that. You know, they want their kids to be a star, you know, because I teach, oh, my child is so fabulous, and I want to get her an agent. I said, well, first she has to know what she's doing when she gets out there. You're going to be wasting your time driving around on all these auditions and stuff. You know, they need the craft. They need to study and know what it's about. And also the documentary is now on Peacock.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Well, if you
cool?
That's so cool. I have it. If you want to see it, it's called You Look Familiar. It's the life and times and career of actress Vernee Watson. I was fascinated because it's your story, but there's a lot of clips. It's all in your word. You tell your life story from there. And everyone that's watching, because there's a lot of soap fans that are watching, and all the General Hospital fans. And
just did that today.
Emmy winner for General Hospital, and apparently she'll be back on very soon.
Yep.
So all the soap fans, if you want to hear about her, you've done a lot of soaps, a couple soaps.
Yeah, not as much as, I mean, General Hospital was like my longest run on soaps. Search for Tomorrow we did, and I did Young and Restless. I played a homeless alcoholic on that. Yep, and I can't remember.
There are not many people who do homeless alcoholic and then do Hanna-Barbera cartoon voices. You know, they don't usually
in the same year.
Well, you know, I think one of the big breaks you've gotten, when everyone who's watched, you did Welcome Back Kotter, a bunch of episodes of Welcome Back Kotter.
And I had just come from Harlem at the time. I had just come from New York. And you know, in New York, you have various agents. And I told my agent, well, I was trying to get an agent. And somebody that I knew from New York had an office out here. And I told him, I said, I want to go up for this part on Welcome Back Kotter. He said, Vernee, you too old, you know, because I was like 27 years old at the time. I said, well, how about this? I'll go get the part and then I'll bring it back to you. And then will you represent me? He said, yeah. So I've had him for 45 years. Martin Gage. Yep.
And you're still with Gage, which it's like a BRG. Yeah, it's like an
BRS Gage / Gage. Yes.
And you've kept the same agent.
Yeah.
Well, listen, with 200 IMDb credits, he's obviously submitting you, so you don't have to worry about that. So I would keep him too.
You know how New Yorkers are. We don't like to change too much. You know what I'm saying? We keep the same phone number. I had the same phone number for years. Yes.
Well, after you did Welcome Back Kotter, you did all of the like with Daphne, we were talking, you know, you guys have both done a lot of the same shows that at that time was the height of the sitcom. You know, the 70s, as we think of the sitcoms. You've done over 200 commercials.
Oh yeah. That was just in New York though. Not but I you know, since I've been out here, I've done quite a few as well. I got one running now for Pine Sol.
Those commercials in the years before the buyout, those are the good commercial days.
Oh yeah. But I don't. That's what somebody was telling me, that they buy out now. But I don't get those kind of deals.
No,
they pay me residuals. I ain't playing.
That mailbox money. Come on,
that's
I hear
right.
that.
Come on, I wrote a book called Commercials Just My Speed. And because I love doing commercials and they pay well and you only have to work for a couple of days. So my peers said, why don't you share this information with us? And I put it out there. And then I started getting competition, some serious competition.
Well, right before I went on, I
do that. Huh?
When I look for the pictures of you both and was finding the information, I went to look for the book. And then it's out of print, but
oh yeah,
you pulled it right out so that they don't submit and compete. But there are copies. There are some copies on Amazon.
Yeah, they had. Yeah, I didn't pull it out. That was years ago. I still, you know, I published it myself. And then when Samuel French was functioning out here, they sold it for years. But now those stores are closed.
I know that, and that's the truth. Well, you can find it.
Sad.
But if you want Miss Watson to teach you, we're going to talk in a minute about a way that she teaches in, you know, Daphne's making clothes in her spare time. You're teaching acting.
Doors. Doesn't she take pictures of doors too? She has a collection.
Has a tote bag that she sells. So, I mean, you talk about, ladies, like I said, you talk about a planner that's full, how you find time. Before we go to, there's a question. Someone here, Donna here in New Jersey, wants to know, she loves you on General Hospital. Are you Curtis's mother? I guess you're going to have to watch.
You mean, is that part of the storyline that they're going to reveal later on? Or I'm his aunt on the show? Actually, when I auditioned for the show, I auditioned as his mother. But then Darnell had to remind them that his mother passed.
In a soap opera, what does that mean? You could come back. The beheaded actress shows up the next season. Doesn't matter.
Oh Lord.
Well, I think that speaking of, let's just talk about what your heart, and I want to focus on before I get carried away, because I could talk to you for hours. There's so much to talk about. You have a charity organization that's very near and dear to your heart. I know that, and I wanted to make sure we talk about it in a way that people can help. The arts saved my life as a kid. Yes. I know that it saved yours. It protects a lot of people, and there's a lot of people who take advantage of young artists out there. So having good representation and teaching, and as you were saying, and you are really honest in the documentary about actors who don't know their lines and don't rehearse and don't, you'll have to watch it. Here, and there's, there's acting, there's a summer intensive, you teach a class, kids, you have a charity organization that's called Heart. The Heart.
You don't have that logo, huh?
I can get it for you right now. We're going to put it up there. Will you tell us about it?
Well, the lady that I'm in partnership with, we had a company back when my kids were young, and it was the Robinson Project back then. And I taught the acting and she taught dance. And then as our kids grew up, she went to New York and we came back. We said, we got to do this again because it's our passion, So we started this group called the Heart, and it's a nonprofit organization. We teach singing, dancing, and acting. We just did a fabulous lesson in Blackness production for Black History Month. It wore me out, y'all. Oof. I did it in two places. We did it at the Heart, and we also teach at Lancashire Elementary School, an after-school program over there. And the kids, it costs money to run a studio like that. And we're nonprofit, and we give out scholarships because kids are able and worthy, but they don't have the money. So we do our best to provide scholarships for them. So any donation that you guys can make to the heartarts.org would be much appreciated. Our studio is in North Hollywood. Like I said, we have a theater. We have 3 studios. We're renting space, but and it's our home. It's our home. It's not like they're going to kick us out anytime soon, but it's these kids were so happy to get back in there because I taught on Zoom during 2020. And I mean, I taught maybe 50, 60 classes on Zoom. I'm sure you had to too as a teacher, right?
Yeah, we were all.
That's hard.
So hard.
That is so hard. You have to have your stuff together, honey, because you just, they're just right here. And if you can't keep their attention, they mute themselves
and shut their camera. So then
you're like, what? Where did you go? And if you're not engaging, you get bored. Yep. And I would have them do self-tapes because, in the business today, you have to do self-tapes. So we would practice stuff. I would have them self-tape and send all that stuff to me. My phone got logged up with self-tapes, but I edited together and show, productions. So they really enjoyed it. And as soon as we opened our doors, they were there. They were ready.
Yes, in person. I don't know how you teach
in person.
Well, here's the logo. Here's the logo for the Heart.
Yeah, there you go.
Education through the arts. And there is a GoFundMe. Look, if you have money, instead of it's this link, but we're going to put this link on all social media so that you
wonderful.
Can and if you can go to thehearts.org and donate the money that you give to the Hearts,
theheartarts.org.
Theheartarts.org. Any donations that you give to that will help give children the opportunity to learn.
Much appreciated. So much appreciated. Yes. Because we're doing a Juneteenth celebration. We're doing a Mother's Day celebration. And the kids are, dancing and singing. And you remember how kids used to play the dozens? Well,
Yes.
but we're gonna do it in a positive way. It's like my mom is so smart, Google needs to call her. That kind of stuff.
I love that. Flip it instead of the yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And I write for them. I wrote, we did a show called Miracle on 125th Street for Christmas. And Eartha and I wrote that together. So it's just nonstop. It's nonstop.
I'm exhausted.
And in between learning lines, and I have props to put together. We're doing commercials for this. You remember that Parquet commercial? We're doing Coca-Cola, all back. And we have a show called The Heart and Soul Train. And it's based on the Soul Train thing. Yeah. So we have all the old Afro Sheen and all those kind of commercials that we're doing. Yeah. So they need to learn all those genres.
Yes.
There's a difference between theater and commercial acting and film and stage. They're all different genres. So we try to give them everything that we can.
Well, the next big star, the next TV, film, theater star, you could help support. So make sure that you send support so that they get the right kind of training, so they can get.
Yes. What do you teach in fifth grade?
I teach fifth grade. I teach social studies and science.
Oh.
We're in North Bergen, New Jersey. I have 106 kids a day. Yeah. 106 kids a day. We're 93% economically disadvantaged, and we are, a lot of people, it's their first generation Americans. They're from Central America, majority of them. So they're the first experience that they really have. I just had a student who got accepted into medical school. She came from India, and I was her first teacher, and she wrote me this. I was sobbing.
I know, I'm ready to cry right now. Oh my gosh.
So, teachers really change,
I run into people because when my son was young, I would direct plays at his elementary school. I run into people on the airplane, because my name was Miss Johnson. I did Wizard of Oz with you. You came to our school, and that helped me. I mean, you can, the little bit that we give them and they absorb, it helps them so much, just presenting themselves and their confidence. I have kids who come to me hiding behind their parents, and by the time 3 or 4 weeks in, can I have the lead role?
Break them right out of their shell. That's what you have to do, for sure.
How many lives do I have?
Well, what's funny is I always say that for me, I went to school for theater, and then I chickened out. Went to school to become a teacher, and then 15 years later went to acting conservatory and went to Meisner training and all of this. And I called my album and my show is called Unfinished Business, because when you have it in you, when you're an artist, it never goes away. It's never going to go away. So I try to encourage my kids, don't be scared.
Yes.
Go. Don't give up that chance.
Venture out. But you got to do the work, y'all. Just don't think that you got followers on Facebook or something, and that's going to get you a job. It's not going to happen.
No. Well, if you want to find information, please make sure that you go to the heartarts.org. And if you're in the West Coast, if you're in the California area and you're looking for to enroll in summer camp and classes, you're in West Hollywood, you said?
North Hollywood.
North Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. At the old Joe Tremaine Studios. It's now called MKM Cultural Affairs Center. Yes.
Well, when I'm in LA, because I bounce sometime on breaks, I'm going to just
bounce on over, honey.
I'm going to audit. I'm going to come in. I'm going to take classes.
Yes.
I need help.
You're young enough. You can still do a whole nother career, honey. But don't stop teaching those kids.
No, we need you. I'm excited to see all of the work. We watch you on CBS. You're on General Hospital. You want to see, you've been a nurse in 162 television shows.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, I'm like, I have words.
The funny thing is, I have to call my sister for advice and counsel on playing these nurses. I did a nurse on West Wing one time, and they had me carrying these twins, real babies, one in each hand. And I said, wait, hold on a second. Let me call my sister. I said, Brenda, can we? She said, no, You would never hold the babies in your hand like that. They would be in a incubator thing or whatever you call those things. Yes. So I had to let them know I am not picking up these little squirmy children. I'm not dropping nobody's child.
Well, that's the work.
Yes.
Imagine
you got to do the research.
Yes. Well, we will see you popping up on television. We will see you in reruns. We will see you on commercials. We'll see you on General Hospital. We will see you on Your Voice.
God willing.
I know that
the water don't rise.
And keep working. Come on, get that work. Well, yes. The Abishola show, you're at Bob Hart Abishola is so clever.
It's so much fun.
What a clever, cute idea for a show.
And what a great cast. Everybody on that cast is holding their own. And the writers are amazing. Chuck Lorre didn't think that he knew everything. He hired a Nigerian comedian. He found her on Google, and Gina Yashir, and she's amazing.
Well,
Al
great
Higgins, they're just, and Billy Cardell is such a good leader. He's such a good leader. I'm having a ball. Well, I was a guest on there when we had the table reading stuff, and then I said one of them lines.
Then you stick around. Well, and that's a testament to you, because sometimes when you sit at that table, you say something, the creators, people aren't going to hire you if they don't have a good time working with you, no matter how talented you are.
But so, that's the thing, people get on jobs and they think because I'm the actor that these other people are, your servants or something, and they don't respect people's time. When you come in and don't know your lines, you're making it hard for everybody. There's going to be overtime. You got to go back and shoot it over, and you're just wasting time if you don't listen to directions, and I collect the phones. When I have class, put your phone right here. We are not going to be on these phones. Well, my mama want to call me. Your mama know where you are.
I need to do that in my class. We have to collect. They're videoing you. They're taking pictures. They're distracting.
I know, what the heck? What is that? It's just they're chatting with each other.
Yep. And now they go on the computer to each other.
I have gone up to a group of teenagers and tried. I did this thing out in Orange County. I think it was like an art festival or something. And I'm trying to talk to these kids. They're all on their phones. Nobody's talking to each other. They're all on their phones. And I go, hi, you guys, you want to come to our workshop? And then they just kind of look at me like I'm a space person or something. I said, well, should I text you this? Do you know what conversation is? Mm-hmm. They don't know what conversation is anymore.
No. And then they're socially stunted because they don't know how to communicate with one another.
Sad.
It's sad.
And the spelling, they make up this whole the texting thing has its own. Punctuation is out the window.
And you have grandchildren, and
yes.
I know that I had a conversation with students, and they were asking me why they needed to learn how to write in cursive.
I know. My grandson said, is this a secret code that you're writing in? I said, that's cursive. They don't know how to do that.
No.
You teaching your kids that?
I make them write in a notebook because it's on a computer. No. You need to hold a pen, write your and because
yes,
I said, how are you going to sign your name? Well,
right. I have talked to people like I forget who it was, but they said it's a real problem because kids don't know how to sign their name.
No.
They'll put an X.
Yes.
Or they'll scribble something.
They print it. Yeah. Well,
anyway,
listen, I could go,
Yeah.
Well, we got a question a couple of times, and Daphne is still here. Daphne, will you pop back on real quick with us? Because I have a question for you both to end this together, if you don't mind. And I don't know if you look so great. You both are so beautiful. Daphne, you both look so beautiful. And I know this is an unfair question. Okay. It's an unfair. Listen, stream them on Peacock, stream stream Miss Watson's documentary, then go to Daphne's website, buy the bag. The bag's behind her with the doors. See, you were talking about the bag. We'll watch you on there's all the doors.
Yes, they're beautiful.
It's maybe an unfair question, but I've been asked 4 times. Is there a favorite show or project that you've worked on in your careers?
Frank's Place.
Frank's Place with
my husband and a bunch of wonderful people. Oh my gosh, it's an amazing cast.
It's a beautiful show. We found those clips of that show. It's fun. You can find it.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Watson, do you have a favorite? Is there something that you really enjoyed?
I'm living in the moment. I'm loving Hearts Abishola, and I'm loving General Hospital. I mean, we did some stuff today. It's just good because there aren't too many of us on there, so it's so nice to have that family thing that we're trying to keep together. And Hearts Abishola is like it's like going to work to just party and have a good time. You know, it's just,
yeah.
I mean, as long as you know your words and stuff, but everybody is so we turn on the music. You remember how Will used to make us sweat and dance before
the show.
We went on, we got our makeup on and our heads on, and then we would have to go in his room and party.
That's right. To get our energy up to his energy, which is never.
I had a great time working on that show too.
It was great.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Well, you're both we didn't talk much about the show, but
one more. And I went to Catholic school, so Welcome Back Kotter was fun too. I went to all girls Catholic school, so I enjoyed doing Welcome Back Kotter.
Gabe Kaplan and that whole Ron, Horshack and John Travolta. That's a show that will live in forever, just like Fresh Prince. And Fresh Prince is generations and generations of people that were not alive in the 90s when it was on NBC. They will continue to watch it.
Yes.
3rd generation we're up to. Kids now, 3rd generation talking about Fresh Prince.
So it's another show. It's a part of pop culture history forever. And you both are a part of many pieces of pop culture and of entertainment. So from all of the audience watching today and from the generations of people, actors, artists, people at home, you guys have provided so much entertainment. Your hard work has brought a lot of joy to so many of us. So from the bottom of all of our hearts, thank you.
You're welcome. This was wonderful.
Thank you.
God bless you, Robert. God bless you all out there. Please stay safe. Love each other. And happy Resurrection Day.
Wear your masks until we get control of this thing.
Yes.
Thank you both so much. It's been an honor. So what absolute joy. Are they not the most beautiful, talented people? I hope you're as inspired as I may go right now, teach an acting class and design a dress. I mean, there's been so much to do. You guys, there are literally people that make you feel very, very motivated to go out there and live your dreams. They can come true, right? So God bless you all for being here. Thank you so much. Make sure you support them both. Go to theheartarts.org. Look at Daphne Maxwell Reid's website to buy her amazing photography work and enjoy and support an artist today. Thank you for being here. Much love. Next week, I'll be here on Monday. Monday, we have Alexandra Billings is here and Georges from RuPaul's Drag Race. Because, we just put a little bit of everything. We have everybody and everything. So next week, Rob Paulson, speaking of Vernee Watson, did Animaniacs, a voiceover in Animaniacs. Rob Paulson is a voice of Pinky and the Brain and Animaniacs. He'll be here next week with singer Marilyn May. So we'll be here. And ladies, thank you so much for being here. My show is your show anytime. We'll see you all real soon. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.